Welcome, everyone, to episode 30 of the Reid Method Insider podcast. This episode 30 is one of the most anticipated episodes yet since I started just over a year ago. And we're excited to have a very special guest joining us tonight via Zoom and Facebook Live. Tonight's episode is appropriately titled, It's Possible. Get ready to unleash your full potential in 2018. We know this is possible. I'm taking action to unleash my full potential in 2018. And we want to share with you some valuable practices, insights on how to unleash your full potential. Before I introduce our very special guest joining us via Zoom, I want to welcome back a very special friend. Ronnie Fisher is in studio with me tonight. And welcome back.
Everold, what an experience. It was the first time, and I'm glad to be back. Thank you.
Amazing. Yes. And Ronnie and I did episode number 13 on about effective networking. And that episode, by the way, has been extremely popular. I checked the stats this morning and that was worth mentioning. So I'm really pumped tonight as, tonight's discussion is about great possibilities in 2018 and unleashing one's full potential. So you're already having one of those breakthrough years, Ronnie. I see that.
Things are exciting. Including this. This is one of those possibility things that having Les Brown on the show tonight. This has been in the manifestation process for how long?
For months. He doesn't know that, but it's been months. Well, so folks, our special guest tonight, as one of the world's most renowned motivational speakers, our very special guest is a dynamic personality and highly sought after resource in business and professional circles for Fortune 500 CEOs, small businesses, owners, non-profit and community leaders from all sectors of society looking to expand opportunity. As a premier keynote speaker and leading authority on achievement for audiences as large as 80,000, our guest energizes people to meet the challenges of the world around them. Hundreds of thousands are watching him on YouTube, and tens of thousands are showing their interest on Facebook. Addressing audiences from many continents, he's been invited back again and again for his powerful message and the ability to connect deeply with people from all walks of life. Revered as an icon by his colleagues, he received the National Speakers Association coveted Council of Peers Award of Excellence and ultimately its most prestigious Golden Gavel Award for Achievement and Leadership in Communication. Toastmasters International also voted him one of the top 5 outstanding speakers worldwide. Legions of followers flock to stadiums and arenas to hear a man who never stops believing that with proper guidance and training, you can achieve anything you desire in life. This is why we're privileged and pumped to have one of the world's leading speakers, Mr. Les Brown, joining us tonight. Welcome, Les.
Because of God's grace and mercy. So I have a plan, a ritual, action steps that I take every day to put cancer out of my body and sciatica pain. So that's one. Then the relationship with my children, collectively and individually. I have 5 boys and 5 girls. I'm filing a lawsuit against the people who came up with that concept about the rhythm method. It doesn't work. I'll prove it doesn't work. So becoming clear, what do you want personally, professionally, health-wise, and the next thing is, what's going to change about you? You don't get in life what you want, you get in life what you are. What is it that some radical change in your behavior, in your thinking, in your choices, some radical letting go of certain habits. It was Warren Buffett, he said, habits are too light to be felt until they're too heavy to be broken. So what habits that you need to let go of? What choices? I love peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, but it doesn't go with my plan of action of having a 6-pack. I got a 1-pack right now. But I love super crunchy peanut butter on wheat bread and jelly. I love it. So I've got to let that go because it's blocking me. All right. Can you feel it, brother? Up in here, up in here. And so once you become clear, then break it down into manageable chunks and start building blocks, start working on it, and have some things that you do every day that will move you in the direction of the manifestation of those dreams.
Very good, very good. So making those important choices.
Yeah. Les, can you just kind of dig deeper into the clarity aspect? Because that's something I struggled with in the past. And I found that my clarity just kind of happened, let's say. What can some of our viewers and listeners do to sort of identify what their clarity actually is? Because I find that a lot of people don't have it, number one. And therefore, just telling them to find it isn't necessarily an action step towards gaining it themselves. So what can somebody do to find their clarity and be sure that that's exactly what they want in life?
All they have to do is make the commitment to get it. There is no secret formula. That when I end this evening, I've decided that the things that I want to move me in the direction of my goals and dreams, the resolutions that I've made, that in order for me to make that become a reality, I will write down 7 things tonight before I lay my head on the pillow that I feel that will move me in the direction of my dreams. 7 action steps, what I want out of tomorrow. Now, most people are just trying to get through the day. I know my goal is to become cancer-free, so let's focus on that. So I'm making preparation that tomorrow, part of my menu will be broccoli and asparagus. Part of my menu will be my Tai Chi and my yoga and my meditation. Part of my goal and dream for tomorrow and becoming cancer-free is talking to my support members and finding out what extra things are they doing with herbs to keep inflammation at a small level in their body. So I have an agenda for tomorrow. That's for my physical health, for my mental health, my physical activity, and I journal. I write down things that's important to me, and I'm preparing each day for my exit. You know, Leo Tolstoy said, as I face inevitable death, what in the meaning and purpose of my life that will not be undone or destroyed when I'm gone? And so a good man leaves a legacy for his children and for his children's children. So I was in a conference call today, and I wrote down last night, I will have a conference with my youngest daughter, which is Serena, and she is now the CEO of Les Brown Unlimited. My oldest son, no matter how old your children become, they are still your children. He's 53. He's suffering from a stroke. So he can't do this anymore. So Serena has to take over. And my oldest daughter, she will be the president of the Les Brown Institute. So I'm not only positioning my children, but I have 15 grandchildren and I have 3 great grandsons. So I focus on the things that I'm doing for my family. I purchased $1 million worth of cryptocurrency 3 months ago. It was at $2. Now it's over $600. So now I'm giving them all of their wallets. I'm divvying them up and I'm saying to them, it's your call, it's your choice, but you now have what it is in your portfolio, in your wallet to do as you so desire. And a certain amount of it is carved out for financial literacy, financial education, and for them upgrading their education. So every day at this stage of my life, February 17th, I'll start my 74th year on the planet. I'm working on my children, my grandchildren, and my great-grandchildren's education. And I'm fighting off Alzheimer's and Parkinson's and all of the things that stalk you as you get older. Betty Davis said, old age ain't for wimps. So I have a strategy of eating the right things, exercise, prayer, meditating, Nomi Yoho, Renge, Kyo, chanting. I'm doing the whole works. I call on Jesus, Allah, Melchizedek, the whole gang in order for me to do what I want to do. My goal is to go beyond a healthy 100 And so I have strategies that I engage in every day that make it clear to me what I want and who I have to become. What is it that I need to change about my behavior to produce the results that I want in every area of my life, mentally, emotionally, financially, family-wise, and spiritually?
So if those of you out there listening didn't believe it was possible, this is such good encouragement from someone who's had some adversity, but is taking some steps to make sure that you overcome and tackle those and turn and take the positives out of it. Like I'm so encouraged by how you're choosing to, to deal with these issues and, set all these priorities and all these goals and 7 things at night before you go down to bed. Those are all very important success steps. And I'm very, very honored that you would share that story with us. So for our listeners on the podcast and viewers watching tonight who have the desire, the dream to be ultimately successful and have the best year yet, what is that one thing or characteristic that you think can trigger that path to success where they can say it's possible for them?
The one thing that I think is major, and that is make the commitment. Don't ask yourself how you're going to do it, because how is none of your business. My favorite book says, lean not unto thine own understanding. There are things that you can do, things that you have in you that you don't even know now, that eye has not seen, ear has not heard, nor is in the heart of mankind what God has in store for you. Just think for a moment. You're talking to someone who was born in an abandoned building on a floor in a poor section of Miami, Florida called Liberty City. I'm adopted. When I was in 5th grade, I was labeled educable, mentally retarded, put back from the 5th grade to the 4th grade, failed again when I was in the 8th grade, and adopted by Mrs. Mamie Brown. You see me because of 2 women. One gave me life. The other one gave me love. God took me out of my biological mother's womb and placed me in the heart of my adopted mother. So this woman who adopted 7 children, and I was among those 7, worked on Miami Beach for wealthy families. And she cooked for them, and we ate the food left over from the families that she cooked for. She kept their children, and we wore the hand-me-down clothes of their children. And I thought about, before this interview, Mr. Swiderski. I used to shine his shoes, and he was a very wealthy man, and he loved Dr. Norman Vincent Peale. Don't allow your negative thoughts to stop you. You have the power to do more, to achieve more. Control your thinking. He loved Jim Rohn. When the end comes for you, let it find you conquering a new mountain, not sliding down an old one. He loved Earl Nightingale. All of us are self-made, but only the successful will admit it. And I had no idea, as I was shining his shoes, listening to these recordings, that my mind was being retrained. My belief and my vision of myself was being expanded by being in the presence of those voices, just as you and Everold are doing right now, Ronnie, speaking to people and interrupting the story they believe about themselves. That's what you do as an announcer, as a speaker, as a results coach, that when we speak, Emerald's vision and his show is about distract, dispute, and inspire. How people live their lives as a result of the story they believe about themselves. When the program comes on and you have guests that you interview, you override the story of the listeners that they believe about themselves. You distract them from those stories as they're being distracted now. Dispute. Through the gems, through the ideas, through the strategies, through the methods that they pick up listening to the conversation, they then begin to dismantle their current belief system. Jacqueline Onassis was asked a question, what if you lost all of your wealth? What would you do to gain it back? And she said, I would go to the most expensive restaurant, order a glass of water, and sit as close as I possibly can to the wealthy people that's in that restaurant. And she said, in 3 years, I have back everything that I've lost. And so I practice that. I listen to motivational messages on a regular basis. And I engage in a ritual even now at this stage of my life. You're never too old to learn, and you're never too young to teach. And so that process has served me well to be where I am now. Distract, dispute, and inspire. That as a result of people listening to this program that you are now on, listening to the two of your voices, some of them I'm going to reach, but there's some of them that will listen to you, Ronnie, because they're part of your tribe. There's some of them that will listen to you, Everold, because they're listening to you not just with their ears, but in their heart. And as a result, they'll become like a pencil in the hand of God and become, as Mother Teresa would say, and start writing a new chapter with their lives. So that's what we do. And I feel that if we all practice those principles of programming ourselves, be ye not conformed to this world, be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, we can begin to accomplish the things that we set out for ourselves.
Beautiful.
I totally agree. And it's just incredible listening to you every time. And
Thank
one of the
you.
things that really stood out to me right now was the fact that you said we need to distract them first. We need to distract that story that they've convinced themselves, and they repeat it to themselves multiple times, and now they believe that, and it's not true. So what are some of the things that somebody can harness so that, you know, we just approached just 2 weeks ago, New Year's Eve. A lot of people have New Year's resolutions. And these New Year's resolutions, people are motivated for the first couple of weeks, but I think they decline very quickly, right? So how do we stay motivated? How do we harness the power of our own motivation and change that belief system that we have? What can we do to distract ourselves if we don't have somebody that's taking the initiative to distract us for us?
That is a very important question. And the key to that is basically very simple. Number one, have an agenda for your life. Decide what is it you're going to listen to? What is it that you're going to watch? What is it that you're going to read? Who is that are listening right now? And decide that tomorrow morning when I get up, I will carve out a minimum of 1 hour. I'll wake up early and I'll read 30 to 40 pages of something positive. Number one, I followed this process many years ago in 1980 when I heard Brian Tracy. He said the average American reads one book a month, a year, one book a year. And he said, if you read one book a month, in 5 years, when the average American has read 5 books, and you read 60 books, you will become an expert. Well, I decided, because I don't have a college education, I decided because I never worked for a major corporation, I disciplined myself and I made the commitment to read 3 books a month. As a result, from 1980 to this time, when I speak in the United States, and I don't say this to impress you, but to impress upon you what works. From that time to this time, because Jim Rohn was right, you don't get paid by the hour, you get paid for the value you bring to the hour. From that time to this time, if you go online and put in Les Brown speaking in the Georgia Dome, in 35 minutes, I earned over $400,000. And I used to be someone who worked for the Miami Sanitation Department. From that time to this time, for a major pharmaceutical company, and everything can be verified online. In 1 month, speaking for 45 minutes from Monday through Thursday, I earned $640,000. The average American will earn only $240,000 in their lifetime. That came as a result of my programming myself deliberately. Make a conscious, deliberate effort to take care of yourself, because if you read 1 book a month in 5 years, you will be an expert. Knowledge is the new currency. The second thing that is important, look at your relationships and ask, what is this relationship doing to me? Am I growing mentally and emotionally and spiritually? As you look at the goals in your life for 2018, there's some people who you are associated with in 2017 that they don't need to be in your life. You earn within $2,000 to $3,000 of your closest friends. So you have to operate out of the thinking of Dennis Kimbrough out of Atlanta, who said, if you're the smartest one in your group, you need to get a new group. So I spent between December the 26th and January the 3rd, making a list of everybody that I communicate with most, family members and friends, and start drawing the lines through the names of individuals that I have outgrown. Mama used to say, Leslie, if you hang around 9 broke people, I guarantee you, you'll become number 10. And the final thing is, as you look at yourself and look at your goals, knowledge is the new currency. And so focus, once again, because where focus goes, energy flows. So I don't watch the television. I don't engage in conversations about things that's not my agenda. I don't answer a telephone call unless it's positive, it's purposeful, it's productive, and it's profitable. The reason that most people don't reach their goals because they give permission for too many interruptions. Be ye not conformed to this world. They have an entertainment-driven mindset. My goal, and the people that I train, the speakers that I'm training, I teach them how to have an achievement-driven mindset. We live in the greatest country in the world. We don't have to make America great again. That's bull. America has never stopped being great. I've traveled around to 51 different countries. People try and outswim sharks to get here. They try and outrun Jeeps barefooted to get here. And when you look at it, there's something wrong. When more people, according to the CDC, committed suicide last year than died from traffic accidents, over 3,000. And so I submit to you that as we look at ourselves, developing a culture of hope and achievement, when there's hope in the future, that gives you power in the present. I submit to you that when we look at our relationships and decide to practice OQP, only quality people, to discipline ourselves, to turn the television off and focus on our dreams. Everybody that I trained today, I taught them how to use their story to make a difference, because Horace Mann said we should be ashamed to die until we've made some major contribution to humankind. How to make a difference with their story and how to create income, how to control their own personal economy with their story. And I submit to you that if people work on their minds, increase their skill set and their communication skills, and organize collaborative, achievement-driven, accountability-focused relationships, they can transform the planet and change the course of their history.
OQP.
Yeah.
Only quality people.
Well, I just